Hello. So, a couple of phone calls I had recently, and I wanted to share them with you because they might apply to you. They might help, hopefully. So there's 5 general types of marketing. There's customer acquisition, upselling, cross-selling, retention, and then reactivation. What I'm going to talk about mostly is new customer acquisition, because a lot of you are just starting out. But upselling is also a very important marketing strategy for what we're going to be doing, and I'll explain why in the recap of the second call that I had. But first I want to start with the initial call I had with somebody who's looking to acquire more customers. He's just getting started in all this. He is the chief operating officer of a consulting company, and he's just looking to start his own business and grow equity in it, instead of just working for somebody for the rest of his life. So we talked about a few ideas for new customer acquisition, and one topic came up quite a bit, which is the topic of scarcity. Nothing drives customer acquisition like scarcity. If you're a potential customer and it's near Black Friday, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the first type of scarcity. It's called intertemporal price discrimination, when you are basically setting a very set time in the not too distant future where things are going to change. And you basically are instilling fear in people that if they don't get in now, before that date comes around, then they're going to be missing out. And all those other people are going to take advantage of this and basically have a leg up on them, either socially or economically, if it's a business product. That's kind of an obvious one. So you're always going to want to keep in mind, limited time offers are always going to do better than offers that are into perpetuity, by an order of magnitude of 10, I would say. It's not even close. So, because believe me, I've tried all of them. And if you can put a time limit on something, all of a sudden everybody comes out and they act. So I would like you guys to challenge yourselves to just jot down on paper or your spreadsheet or whatever it is that you're keeping track of your possible strategies are. Come up with some offers and put some firm dates on them and see what it would take to get that out there, and get it in front of your potential clients with a very specific cutoff date. The other thing that we talked about regarding scarcity is also very, very much time-based, but it's a little more specific. So we offer widgets. So what I encouraged him to do is to go create a sign-up campaign in Socialmonials and use the timer feature and set the end date to 5 minutes from the time that the page loads. Now you can shrink this a little bit if you have a shorter page, but I know my landing pages have quite a bit of content, and you want to make sure to give them enough time to actually read through the content and make an informed decision. You're not trying to rush them into something that, that they're going to have to take advantage of before they've, reached a knowledgeable conclusion as to whether they really want to move forward. But we're not talking about asking them within a 5-minute period to buy your product, to sign up for one of your plans. Instead, what I was encouraging him to do is come up with a small incentive and offer them a coupon to unlock that incentive if they act within the first 5 minutes. And all they needed to do is give their email address and name. So basically, this is a lead generation strategy that makes people feel like they're getting a super deal, and it's giving them that time component, which is going to 10x the results and the conversion rate. So the idea is something like this. Let's say you're offering your $99 plan, and it's a full service, fairly entry-level offer. So you're basically offering the social media growth system, but without all of the RSS feeds and the industry-specific posts that somebody might get with one of your higher plans. So the example is this. I would have a pop-up that shows up, just give it like a 5-second delay, and let them know. Or you can also have it slide in from the right side, and then automatically close after a few seconds. But basically what you want to get in front of them is, first of all, they need to see that 5-minute countdown timer, and it needs to say, within the next 5 minutes, snag a coupon that will unlock industry-specific social media posts added on to any one of our plans at no cost. And then you'll always want to give them what the dollar value of that add-on is. So in this case, it's not going to cost you anything to add that onto the plan. In fact, you might already offer 1 or 2 RSS feeds for each one of the plans you offer. But in this case, you're basically creating a considerable perceived value, giving them industry-specific posts, and the only thing it's going to cost you is just a little bit of extra time in the setup. We even provide you guys with 1,400 RSS feeds, so all you need to do is look through, find the industry and sub-industry of the client, and jump into their workspace and set up those RSS feeds. So what I like about this is you're not only grabbing a lead, because as soon as they fill that out, it's going to notify you that this person was on your website. You're also going to drop that information into MailChimp or whoever you're using for marketing automation, and hopefully you're going to already have a drip campaign where you're going to slowly but surely turn them on to the fact that you know what you're talking about. You're going to have some content that goes out talking about your offering, talking about social media. So you're going to capture that lead, but what you're also going to do is you're going to get them to commit to something. Anytime you get them to commit to something on your page, then you're one step closer to a yes to purchasing your product. So if they grab that, they're going to feel like, well, if I go ahead and buy while I'm here, I'm also going to get this additional bonus that most people aren't going to get. So I think you're going to be one step closer to actually converting on the sale of one of your plans. So that might be a strategy that some of you can try. And this is going to be highly dependent on the industry that you're targeting, because not everybody is going to respond the same way to these. In order to do this, it's fairly simple. I mean, all you need to do is when you create that notification email for after they submit their form, just include instructions. Step 1, pick out one of our plans. Step 2, I will reach out to you, or somebody from our staff will reach out to you to confirm that we've added on this additional bonus. Also tell them in the email that your staff has already been notified that this bonus has been unlocked. That's just going to create some social pressure on them, because now they're feeling like, okay, they know who you are, and if you don't act on this, they're going to be a little bit concerned. They might be a little disappointed in you for not following through. So that's how you do it. You'll need to get creative on what you offer. The different things you can offer are maybe a PDF if you already have some content created with like a swipe file, 5 tools of this industry that will, catapult your growth next year, those types of things. Give them a deadline. It's like within the next 5 minutes, go ahead and download this PDF. This is normally a $99 product, something like that. You can also increase account limits. Tell them that you're going to give them an extra 5 social media profiles connected to their account if they grab that coupon in the next 5 minutes and enter their email address. So that's that type of scarcity. The one other I wanted to mention to you guys ties right in with goals I'd like each one of you to create. Like, keep your goals macro, even if your goal is you want to hit that 50 by the end of the year. So you've got the minimum $60,000 annual passive cash flow. That should be everyone's goal, but you need to have shorter term goals, either on a weekly basis or a 2-week basis. And what's great about those is you can use that to create scarcity when you're talking to prospects. Not just talking, when you're using your sales copy, if you're sending an email. So it goes like this. Basically, if you have a goal of signing up 2 people this week, then how much more powerful is it when you're talking to somebody to say, look, I've got 2 slots that I need to fill. You seem perfect for us. It seems like a really great fit. I'd like to get you in here and have you snag one of those 2 spots. So you're being truthful, because you only, your goal is 2 slots. That's what you're trying to fill in the near term. If they fill one, that's great. They're going to feel like there's a little bit of scarcity there. There's only 2 that you're trying to fill, and they could, help you reach 50% of your goal. They don't know what's going to happen if they aren't one of those 2 people. And that's not something that, if they ask you, you're going to have to be honest about it, but I don't think there's anything too deceptive about letting them know that you're trying to fill 2 slots this week and you want them to be one of them for this reason, and this reason. And I think you'll have a much better chance than if you just talk to your prospect or send that email that is just talking about benefits and features and things like that. Be really specific about the reason you're contacting them and why there's that bit of scarcity and there's an urgency to them responding to you as soon as possible. Now, the other phone call I had more to do with upselling, and it was a very specific type of person that I was talking to. I could tell very early on in the call that this is somebody who was a little bit more shy and introverted. They had been sitting on this program for months now without starting. And the reason they reached out to me and set up the Zoom call was to just have that conversation. How do I get started? So, just after that short conversation we had initially, and I detected right away that this was a very intelligent person. This is somebody who was very conscientious, and they clearly had some like performance anxieties, like, do I really know enough to be offering this kind of a service when I don't have any background in social media marketing? So the term for this is imposter syndrome. People who feel like they're imposters, they don't really belong, they don't deserve to be making any of these claims or even succeeding in this industry. And it's generally the most intelligent people and the most prepared people that feel this way. But basically, what I told her to do was a little different than I generally advise people to do when they're starting out. So I told her to pick, one industry, which fortunately she already has. I told her to pick one pricing plan and make it the $99 one, because that is literally a passive cash flow option where you really don't need to have any effort or expertise to get this all set up. And I said, deliver on that. $99 for a very specific industry niche, you are way over delivering and under promising. So I told her, get to your 50 with the $99 plans, and your growth strategy from that point on is going to be twofold. One is you're going to need to learn during this process, learn as much as you feel comfortable with how to implement the higher price plan activities, which really aren't that difficult. And secondly, an upselling strategy is really going to be where your growth comes from for your revenue. Because think of it this way. Let's say you have all 50 of your slots filled with $99 accounts. That's $60,000 a year in passive cash flow, right? Then let's say you learn how to implement, and this was an industry where I was highly, highly recommending video testimonials as the year-round campaigns that she offers to bump people into that $250 a month price point. Well, that $60,000 goes to around $150,000 a year in passive cash flow when she learns how to set up and implement these video testimonial campaigns. And that's also a set it and forget it kind of passive cash flow strategy. Because once you set up this campaign, it just keeps giving throughout the year. Now, what if she can get to that $399 price point with all of those people? I know you're never going to hit 100% of the people upsells, but I'm just trying to give you an example here. Just with those same 50 people that you acquired at the $99 price point, which is just an insane price that you don't see on the market. If you can just stick with those customers and upsell those to the $399 price point, well, now you're talking about $240,000 a year with, granted, it's not quite passive because at the $399 price point, they're going to want to chit chat with you every now and again, so you're going to have some phone calls and maybe even some regular meetings. But it will be worth it. At that revenue level, you're going to be able to hire staff. You're going to be able to hire a virtual assistant to handle these meetings for you. So, you'll have a very great lifestyle. So by putting the blinders on her and telling her to just focus on getting the $99 sales from the industry that you've selected will really help you gain that confidence. Once you start onboarding people and they give you the feedback that you are over delivering and under promising, that confidence is what's going to propel her to start learning more aggressively some of the better strategies that allow her to feel comfortable enough to start upselling those $250 pricing plans. So that's it. Those are the recaps I wanted to share with you. If any of you are AgencyPro subscribers or enterprise users, I encourage you to set up a call with me. Let's talk about it. Let's get you, once you take those first steps, it'll flow. It'll be so easy. Most of this software in this program is all about setup. Once you get things set up and pointed in the right direction, then things are just going to be a flywheel for you that just kind of run on their own and hopefully will spit off some cash for you. So, thanks for your time. Bye.